Gyokuro is one of the most expensive Japanese teas, and today we're going to brew it in the way it's meant to be. A part of why I love Gyokuro so much is because there's so many different ways you can really enjoy it. Across the next 4 days, I'll be going over 4 different ways I personally love to drink Gyokuro, and today is day 1, the traditional method. Hi, I'm Yuki, I'm the founder of Tea Life, and here we break down Japanese tea so you can become a Japanese tea expert. Today, we're brewing the Gyokuro in a very traditional way. It uses a high amount of tea leaves, a very small amount of water, and a very low temperature. The goal is to make it very dense but with low astringency. If you haven't seen what a Gyokuro is in the first place, make sure you take a look at the description and click on the link so you can check that out first. For this video, I'm not going to use any specialized Gyokuro tools. We'll be using more normal Japanese tea tools. So this is just a regular tokoname teapot. And then we'll have our tea leaves. We're using the Gyokuro Umejirushi by Taniguchi. This is Gyokuro from Kyoto. So it's very fitting because Kyoto is the place that Gyokuro was born. Now, Gyokuro can be prepared in several different ways. If you look online, you probably won't find the same instruction twice. That's how diverse the thinking of in terms of preparing Gyokuro. In the end, it's really up to you, so it's basically preference. But here's the setup for today. For today, we'll use 8 grams of Gyokuro leaves, which is 0.28 ounces, and we'll use 100 milliliters of 50 degrees water. Now you'll be able to see that we're using a very small amount of water for a lot of tea leaves. For the first infusion, we'll steep it for about 2 minutes. For the second infusion, we'll do 60 seconds at 70 degrees. So the Gyokuro leaves are already open, so I'll just take this. And the Gyokuro leaves smell absolutely amazing. And then we're going to measure 8 grams of this, which is 0.28 ounces. 8 grams is a fair amount. It'll feel like a lot of tea leaves. Now we want to take 100 milliliters of 50 degrees Celsius water or 122 degrees Fahrenheit water, and we'll just put this in. So this is 50 degrees Celsius. We'll pour this in. We will let it wait for 2 minutes. Okay, so that's 2 minutes, so we're gonna take this, serve until the last drip. So these last few drips are where all the nutrients and all the taste, all the umami sweetness is all condensed. So you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of this. You can tell that it's a very thick liquid, right? Oh wow. So from here you can already smell almost like a saltiness. That's how strong the savoriness and the brothiness. It's amazing. So let's take a sip. Oh wow. Super strong. Compared to the Sencha, the thickness, the viscosity is incomparable. It is extremely strong, and yet there's very low astringency. Way more than the astringency, you'll feel the strength of the savoriness, the brothiness. That comes stronger. So it's an amazing drink, and you can see why it is something that really helps you relax. Now I'm going to take a while to finish this cup. Now obviously compared to a matcha, it's much more clear. Even compared to a sencha, it's much more clear. But compared to a sencha, it's a lot more stronger in terms of taste. Now for the second infusion, because the tea leaves have opened up already, we're going to use a shorter infusion. We'll be increasing the temperature to 70 degrees Celsius, which is 158 degrees Fahrenheit. And this time we'll steep for 60 seconds. So here's 100 milliliters of 70 degrees Celsius water, 158 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll close the lid. And we will wait for 1 minute and see how it turns out. It's been 1 minute, so we will pour the Gyokuro. You can see that it's still very thick. The tea still has a lot of nutrients and compounds inside. And again, make sure you serve to the last drip. This is very important, even for second infusion, especially for Gyokuro. Okay, so here we have it. Even by touching this glass, we can feel that the temperature is very different. There's a 20 degrees difference in the infusion temperature, so obviously it's very different. Oh wow, very different, very different. You don't feel too much bitterness, but there is the astringency. There's the pulling of the back of the tongue, if you will, which is what the astringency is. So for the first infusion, although it was very thick, it was also very smooth as well because there wasn't any of that astringency. With this brewing, you get a little bit more of the astringency. So although, in terms of thickness, the first infusion was thicker, I feel there's a little bit more in the mouth. It's a very different outlook. It's a very different taste. So higher notes, more warmer notes, obviously. The tea itself is warmer. And then you get a little bit more of a astringency as opposed to the previous initial infusion, which was more pure umami and savoriness. So it's very different. However, you still get a lot of the savoriness here too. I think if you would compare it to a Sencha, you'll still have a lot more savoriness in this second infusion compared to the first infusion of most Senchas. This is delicious as well. If you want to do a third infusion, I'm sure that at this quality, you can go for another infusion. You would want to increase the temperature another 10 degrees or so, and then give it another infusion. And that would probably extract more of astringency, and it will change the taste profile once more. So that was the traditional way I like to prepare Gyokuro. Tomorrow we'll do a very different preparation method, so stay tuned.